ASDIP WOOD is a software for the structural design of wood elements. It will be released shortly with great modules and features. But what exactly is included in this package? What modules are included in ASDIP WOOD? This is Javier Encinas, and today we're going to present a quick overview of the modules included in this new package, ASDIP WOOD. Let's get started. When you open ASDIP WOOD, this is the project manager. It shows the modules included in this package. It will include wood column, wood beam, and wood bearing wall. For illustration purposes, let's open one example of each module. First, let's open a wood column example. This is a compression member as part of a truss. It also has some loads that produce bending. The material type can be either sawn lumber or glue laminated. Then you need to specify the species region, either southern pine or western species. In either case, you can specify the geometry by clicking on the Select from Database. Then this opens the corresponding database table in the NDS supplement. In this case, it's table 1B. From here, you can select the size of the member that you want. And when you click Select, the member size will be transferred to the calculation sheet. In addition, you can select user-defined size. In that case, you can specify the width and height of the section. At the bottom of the screen, in the slenderness area, you specify the member length, also the effective length K factors in X and Y directions. If we go to the Materials tab, here the material properties can be selected from the database. We click here. Then you are presented with the corresponding database table in the NDS supplement for the material properties. In this case, is the table 4B. From here, you can select the material. When you click Select, then the material will be transferred to the template. In addition, if you specify user-defined, then you can specify the properties manually by yourself. At the bottom, there are some options for the adjustment factors, repetitive member or incised lumber. Also the moisture content and the temperature. We click on the Loads tab. At the top, you can specify either a single set of recombined loads or a set of nominal load cases. If we select the second option, then you are presented with the load cases: dead life, roof life, snow, wind, and seismic. For all of them, you can enter the axial load in tension or compression, and then lateral loads, a uniform load, wind or seismic, and a concentrated load at the center of the span. The member can be designed per ASD or LRFD. In the right pane of the template, the At a Glance tab shows a summary of the results using one screen. Here you can see immediately if everything is passing or if something is failing. In this case, everything is passing in this example. If you go to the Condensed tab, this is a more detailed set of calculations grouped by topic. Here the on-factor loads, then adjustment factors, then the adjusted design values, the combined stresses, and then the bearing stress analysis, and finally the design codes. If we go to the Detail tab, this is a more detailed set of calculations, step by step, with exposed formulas and references to the NDS code. All the adjustment factors for this load combination are presented here. Then the adjusted design values, which are the reference design values affected by the adjustment factor. Here the combined stresses analysis with all the ratios. And finally the bearing calculations and the design codes. If we go to the diagrams, the program shows the interaction diagram in 3D. This can be rotated. Also in the 2D, showing the rotation angle. At the top is the interaction diagram for the tension loads. In this case, we don't have any tension force. If we go back to the project manager, we can open a calculation for a beam. This is a template for a beam design in ASDIP WOOD. Again, you can select either sawn lumber or glue laminated. In this case, you can specify the number of supports from 2 to 6, so up to 5 spans and 2 cantilevers. Here you enter the span length, and here the type of support. If we click on the Materials tab, similar to the previous module, you can specify the material properties either using the database. In this case is for a glue lamp, so it's the table 5A. If we click on the Loads tab, in this module, again, the loads can be pre-combined or a single set of load cases and then be combined by ASDIP internally. The design method can be ASD or LRFD. The program accepts uniform loads, variable loads, concentrated loads, or moment loads. In this case, we have some concentrated loads. For example, if we click on the Graph tab, we can see the shear and moment diagram for this beam. Again, at a glance, you can see a summary of the results, where you can see immediately if there's any deficiency. As in this case, we have some problems in deflections. This is the area for bending, this is the area for shear. In this case, everything is passing. If we go to the Condensed tab, this is a more detailed set of calculations, grouped by topic, per load combination. This is for the support reactions, the shear forces, then the shear strength and the bending moments, bending strength. Here the deflection analysis. If we click on the Detail tab, it's a more detailed set of calculations, step by step. The section properties from the database, the reference design values. Here the calculation of the adjustment factors with the references to the NDS. Then the adjusted design values. And here the application in the bending calculations for the shear calculations, bearing, and deflections. If we go to the Graph tab, we can see the shear and moment diagrams for this beam. We go back to the project manager. Let's open a calculation for a wood bearing wall. This is the template for the bearing wall design in ASDIP Wood. Again, we can select the sizes from the database or from user defined. In the slenderness area, we specify the height of the wall and then the effective length, KX factor. Please note that the sheathing provides lateral support in the weak axis of the studs. If we click on the Material tabs, here we can select the material properties from the database. In this case, is the table 4A from the NDS supplement. If we click on the Loads tab, here we can enter the vertical loads, concentrated or uniform, and then lateral wind pressure. If we go to the At a Glance tab, we can see a summary of the results. Here we can see that everything is passing in this checking. We go to the Condensed tab. This is a more detailed set of calculations, step by step. Then factor loads, then the adjustment factors for this calculation, the adjusted design values, the combined stresses analysis, then the bearing stresses. If we go to the Detail tab, more detailed set of calculations, step by step, with references to the NDS code, the reference design values, the adjustment factors, and then the adjusted design values. These values will be used in the analysis for the combined stresses, then the bearing calculations. If we go to the Diagrams tab, this is the interaction diagram for this wall, with all the loads represented by these points. The loads are falling inside this usable area, so the analysis is acceptable. As you can see, these three modules included in ASDIP Wood are very useful and very easy to use and very intuitive. The package will be released in a few days, and at that point we will present more examples of all these modules. If you like the software, please visit the website www.asdipsoft.com and download the free 15-day trial. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to receive notifications in the future for similar videos. Thank you for your attention.